Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Degrassi video. And today we take a look at the top 10 bullies in Degrassi history from the old school to next class and all that. So every iteration has been represented. Well, Degrassi junior high wasn't represented. Oh, no, wait. It is kind of represented in the representative for Degrassi junior high / high is the same person. Next gen, there's someone from there. There's someone from the Degrassi 9 to 14 and from next class. So anyway, I looked at a Degrassi Reddit post that said what are the biggest bullies, and then I tally marked people and all that. So here's my pick. Now the number 10 and 9 were not really mentioned on the Reddit post, so I came up with my own. All right. So number 10 is Alex. Reason? Because of her involvement in the Rick Murray situation and all that. And partially for being part of season 3. Because remember in season 3 that Alex was with Jay and his candy bandits. And basically Alex was pushed Emma to her limits and all that. When Alex and Emma fought. And Emma beat the tar out of Alex. Surprise, surprise. You know, she was bad. And then season 4, like she's the vice president of student council, but she wanted to be president because she's a nonconformist and would threaten to out Marco to the school as being gay and all that. But then she decides at the last second she can't be a bad person, so she decides to let Marco compete, and Marco wins, making Alex the vice president. But then once Rick came back to school, basically Alex wanted to destroy him. Yeah, we all know about the fight outside the dot that they wanted to beat the shit out of Rick, and then Emma basically steps up and says, "No way, I'm not letting you do this to him," and all that. However, like Alex used her her personal problem was that basically she had to deal with her mom being bullied by her boyfriends and all that, and they have to live in women's shelters and all that. You can feel sympathetic for Alex, but basically she used that and made Rick into every guy she wanted to beat up for hurting her mom. Basically, Rick and all that. It says Rick is a psycho. Jay, Spinner, and Jimmy basically make it a mission to get Rick out of Degrassi, and it doesn't work and all that. They up it to 11, mostly because of Rick spray painting the X and all that. Rick is not on this list because he's not really a bully. He's basically, he didn't bully people. Like when he spray painted the X's on everyone's cars, it was just basically because he needed to see if the bullies will relent because, obviously it's like, I did this to you, now you know how it feels. But unfortunately, Alex and all of them basically were mad and wanted to tear Rick limb from limb and basically had the yellow paint and feathers. Hello there. So anyway, yeah, so the yellow paint and feathers. Alex never got any punishment with the Rick Murray situation, mostly because Jay and Spinner basically decided to leave her out of it. Which is nice. She does perform in a bit. Number 9 is Sig. Now, here's why I put Sig. Reason is he's an emotional bully towards Maya. Now, Sig's jealousy towards Maya is warranted. In season 12, he's jealous that Maya goes after Cam and all that. Maya likes Cam and all that. Sig makes it his mission. Well, basically, Sig was upset about how Maya was treated by Sig and all that and beats him up in a charity ball hockey thing. Cam gets suspended for a week, and basically Sig is happy because now Maya will go towards him. And then when Cam decides to meet Maya in front of the greenhouse and talk to her and give back her stuffed animal Hoot, Sig says that basically if you want to make Maya's life better, you stay out of her way. It was obvious that he was jealous, that he wanted Maya to himself and didn't want anyone else to touch Maya. And then Cam commits suicide. Now, Sig did tell Maya the truth, that maybe he had done it, but Maya basically said, don't worry about it, I think he was being selfish and all that. Well, Maya had the right idea. I mean, Maya had, with Cam, is like, killing yourself is kind of a sin in a sense, that it's selfish. I mean, Maya's not completely wrong. But the fact of the matter is that Sig's jealousy is no longer. Sig may have dated Zoe in season 13 and all that to get at Maya, who was going after Miles, basically trying to flaunt Zoe in Maya's face. And basically using his gang life to get Maya to like him and all that. That's pathetic. And I personally think that Sig knew that he could get in Maya's head because Maya was in with Miles in season 14 because of the guilt of Cam's death on her, and basically she thought that things were repeating itself and all that. But maybe he used psychological, emotional warfare on Maya to make Maya like him and all that. Now Sig was with Esme in the last season of Next Class, which was great and all that. But basically, Esme was in trouble. Like Sig wanted to be with Maya. Maya didn't want to be with Sig at the prom. She actually wanted Esme to be with him. Well, but that didn't work out. Number 8 is Spinner. Reason? Because he was kind of a jerk in the first few seasons and in even season 4. So basically, Spinner was this basically bully guy that liked to pick on younger people in the school and all that and getting into trouble. But I think Spinner had one of the best redemption arcs ever. And it all started with season 4. He was part of that group to destroy Rick after what he did to Terry in season 3. I mean, Spinner had good reason. Because remember, when Spinner, Paige, Jimmy, and Hazel all went on a road trip in a van with Terry and Rick, basically Rick was causing a lot of trouble, and then Terry ran after Rick, and then Rick could have been the jealous type after what happened last time. So basically, Spinner told himself that he should never have let Terry go after Rick after they pissed him off. But Rick basically, Spinner was ready to beat up on Rick, but his mom saved him. But anyway, yeah, Spinner had good reason to be mad at Rick and for coming back, and that the school's not doing a thing about it. So basically, they have to take matters in their own paws. And then let's not forget about him bragging about the paint and feathers to Jimmy, and then basically retracting, trying to retract, and basically having Jay help him out to point the blame for Rick to point the blame at Jimmy and all that instead of themselves. Obviously, Rick didn't know who would have been involved in it. But anyway, Spinner did redeem himself, and that's why he's lower on the list, because basically he wanted to admit his guilt about Jimmy being shot and realized that Rick had a gun the whole time. Jay told him to keep quiet. Spinner kept quiet too long, and basically he spilled the beans to help Jimmy out. He got ostracized for it. He got expelled, but he took it like a man, and he got everyone to like him again. I think after season 5, he really wasn't a bully. He had a redemption. Number 7 is Zoe. Again, not physically a bully, but basically an emotional bully towards Maya and all that. And to the Degrassi cheerleaders in season 14. So basically, before this whole Zoe rape thing in season 13, there was a plot line that Zoe and Sig would be together, and basically Maya was in it. So basically, Zoe tricked Maya into a few things and basically slut-shamed Maya. Maya fought back with a song dedicated to hurting Zoe. Basically, she gets in deep trouble and gets suspended and put in the rubber room and all that. And basically, Zoe winked because she got Maya to back off calling charges and all that. Zoe played so innocent that, she got away with the troubles. Even if Maya wanted to come back and sue Maya, to go after Zoe, Maya's mom thought that basically she can't win because Zoe would probably, as a reality star, would get maybe some sympathy. So Zoe basically got Maya and went with Sig. And I think Zoe and Sig were just perfect for each other in a sense that they just wanted to make Maya jealous. Of course, when Zoe had the rape trial, that Maya did help Zoe out in a sense, which was great. And then they patched things up at the end of season 13. But by season 14, she moved on to bigger things. She wanted more money for Degrassi's cheerleading stuff. So basically, they decided to sell pictures of themselves, nude pictures of themselves for money so that they can get some money and all that. And basically, the cheerleaders were told to do their share Frankie said, no, I can't do it anymore. And so he basically says, you're off the team, and you also cannot say anything about, you cannot narc because you're going to get yourself into deep shit too. So basically, Frankie was at a crossroads. So he got her comeuppance in the Degrassi nudes thing, and basically the other cheerleaders told her that basically that you're behind this, and if you don't confess, you're going to lose everybody. So Zoe takes the fall for Degrassi nudes, gets lucky because her lawyer knew some stuff, and basically just served community service. Zoe wasn't really much of a prick after the Degrassi nudes thing. I think that finally got her to be likable. Number 6 is Heather Sinclair, the famous unseen character in Degrassi Next Gen. So basically, Heather was basically trying to be the cool one. I lose my verbiage a lot. The Queen Bee, and then fighting off of Paige for Queen Bee status. So basically, she was basically annoying as hell, and basically a lot of people made fun of her, all that. And Heather Sinclair was supposed to be on the Wacky Brain team before she got Mono and got Jimmy to be put on the team. All that. It would have been weird to see maybe Heather Sinclair be targeted by Rick. Who knows? But Heather Sinclair basically was such a bully that she basically passed on her genes to her younger sister, which we will get to later on in the countdown. Number 5 is Paige. Speaking of Paige, I might as well make Paige that. I know Paige wasn't really much of a bully after like season 4 and all that. But basically, the first few seasons, she really was a bully. Queen Bee era, I still hold her partially responsible for why Ashley had downfall in season 2. Because Ashley was guilty about it and wanted to make things right with everybody. But Paige forced her followers, quote unquote, Hazel and Terry, to decide you want to be on Team Ashley or Team Paige. And basically forced Hazel and Terry to both choose Paige because, safety thing, and leave Ashley so despondent she decides to turn her in golf. Maybe she does it on purpose to try to fuck over Jimmy and Paige. I like Paige personally, but, she is kind of a nuisance. So basically, Paige as a bully basically was terrible in a sense. She got her comeuppance with the rape. And I know I shouldn't really say that, but the fact of the matter is that it made her character more believable and more likable. And she fought long and hard, even though that her rapist basically got off scot-free because of lack of evidence. Like, honestly, Paige. But, Paige went through a lot of trouble in season 4, and you can't help but feel a little sorry for her going through this crap. Number 4 is Bruce the Moose. Now, I didn't watch much of the Degrassi stuff from seasons 8 till 12 or whatever. So basically, I don't know much about Bruce the Moose. I know that he was an affiliate with Johnny DeMarco, and basically he came into the show in season 8 if memory serves me right. And basically, he was the silent partner to Johnny DeMarco, and basically was kind of a bully. I don't know much about him, but I think he's so bad he's number 4. Number 3 is Dwayne. Now, remember, I said that basically I need to do every iteration. And yeah, the bully of all bullies for Degrassi Junior High and High is up there. Dwayne was terrible. He was a prick. He had a gang around him. He had Tabitha. Who was that guy who was with Dwayne? There was a third person. But anyway, Dwayne was a bully towards Joey and all that. Now, partially, he gets a little bit of a pass because, he was standing up for some boys that Joey had harassed and all that. But when Scooter finds out Dwayne's a bully, he turns away from Dwayne and decides to talk to Joey and all that. Now, Joey and Dwayne had lots of fights and all that. But unfortunately, Dwayne caught HIV from a chick. It wasn't his own fault. And basically, he was upset and he kept it a secret and all that. I know the school wasn't too happy with it. And it was revealed that he was the one with HIV. But it wasn't Joey who blabbed it. Joey would never have done that. But Joey helped Dwayne say that, they're the pricks. You're not a prick. And basically, yeah, Dwayne was happy as can be. Number 2 is Holly J. Now, I know she had more votes in the Reddit than number 1, but I decided to change it up a bit because I don't think Holly J is the worst bully in Degrassi history. There's a reason why I picked who I picked at number 1. And so Holly J basically was this prompt and prompter person who basically put down a lot of people. She basically forced Mia to choose between cheerleading and her daughter. Like, what a prick move. Like, she had Anya fawning over her and took advantage of Anya's timidness and all that. I know Anya could have been much better, but it seemed like Holly J wanted to keep Anya on because, she was desperate to be with Anya. But the fact of the matter is that Holly J basically learned how Heather St. Clair kind of ruled the school at Degrassi and figured that she would be, she basically was under pressure to perform like Heather, even though Heather was being a giant prick. So Holly J basically was upset and all that. But she was terrible. She had no redeeming qualities about her. Heck, she even tried to force Anya to throw Sav off the student council presidency chase and say that, I'm pregnant with Sav's kid. But Anya turned it around on Holly J and basically they said they miscarried and that's why Sav won the election. And Holly J was upset and Anya said, "You bully me all the time. Why do you do it?" And Holly J says, "Because you let me." And it's like, with me, it's like Holly J's just trying to weasel her way out of it and try to say that Anya's the victim, the bad guy, not in this situation. Like, honestly, Holly J, geez, Murphy. So yeah, she does get a bit of a redemption arc, but that's mostly to do with her kidney problems and all that. I feel that Holly J probably, if it wasn't for the writers making her having kidney problems, she would definitely be really hated forever and ever. And number one is Jay. I hate the guy. I hate the prick. I even tweeted the guy saying that, October 31st is the anniversary of your character, Jay, being a dick towards Rick and all that. And, of course, I never got any responses. But anyway, yeah. Jay was such a prick. Season 3, he managed to pull Sean away from Emma. Emma was busy trying to deal with a new baby brother and a stepfather who had leukemia. So basically, Jay told Sean, basically, Emma's not worth your time. And basically, Sean and Emma split. And then Jay and Sean steal stuff from the school to sell and all that. Got Sean to have his inner bad boy that Sean was trying his hardest not to be. And Emma saw the good side in Sean. But yeah, Jay was kind of a prick and all that. Unapologetic to a massive thing. And basically, he was part of the campaign to destroy Rick in season 4. But it doesn't make sense because Jay didn't have any connections to Terry or Rick. It's basically he went along for the ride. And mostly because, he was wanting to be with Alex. And since Alex had that problem with men in her life, that Jay figured he'd step up to the plate and try to brutalize Rick once and for all. And yeah, we all know that we all know Spinner basically blamed Jimmy for the stuff when it was the Paint and Feathers, when it was obviously Spinner and Jay. But that was because, Jay coerced Spinner into talking that. Spinner was going to be nervous, but Jay basically said he needed to do and help Spinner out. And let's not forget that Jay actually coerced Rick when the tiebreaker to do the tiebreaker Wacky Brain, and basically said that everything was cool, and then basically out of earshot they basically planned on it, making sure that Rick didn't have any clue that it was Spinner or Jay with the Paint and Feathers. Basically, Jay forced Spinner and Alex to be quiet about their issues and all that, even though they had issues. He was just a prick. And I think that, and he had like no redeeming qualities. To me, it's like, Jay was terrible. And the fact of the matter is that Spinner refused to be with Jay in season 5. He said that basically every time I'm with you, I've got problems. And Jay, I think, basically used that as a way to get himself better because he knew his best friend and his girlfriend have both left him. So he needs to think of something. So he decides to clean up his act. And yeah, he helps Sean out in season 6 and all that. And officiates, quote unquote, Emma and Spinner's wedding in season 9. And also, takes a shining to Manny and all that. Like, At least he had that type of redemption arc. But he's still the biggest bully in Degrassi history, and I will not forgive him for his poignancy and basically his refusal to take credit for take anything for granted. Like Spinner wanted to confess about the Rick Murray situation, but he basically pushed Spinner and Alex to be quiet about it. What type of person would do such a thing? And why would Spinner be involved with Jay after all these years? Just sickens me. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day.